Hello everybody and good morning. Welcome to the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. So we're going over the book, How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People, and we are on chapter 12 today. How to use your miracle power in human relations. So before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and invite some people onto here. If I could click the button, my goodness.
September 25th. I can't believe it.
Yeah, the month is going by fast. It'll be October before you know it. I'm actually okay with it. I get to get out all my fall gear soon, get my Ugg boots. Oops. Hold on, get back here. Ugh. It's running away. Pressing buttons I'm not supposed to. There we go. Because, you know, like any other girl, I love fall. Get to wear the comfy clothes. Pumpkin spice comes out.
Which isn't good for you, but it tastes amazing.
I love it. For once a year, it's okay.
Detox November.
Yep. Detox November all the way up until Thanksgiving, and then I need to detox after Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas. But then for Christmas, we end up with a bunch of clients who bring us a bunch of homemade goodies. I'm not complaining, I'll take it all. All right, there we go.
All right, so we're on chapter 12. How to use the miracle in human relations. It says, do you believe in miracles? If not, you may be surprised to learn that many medical doctors and scientists believe in miracles as well, even if they can't understand them. This is one of those ones, being able to connect with people. Andrew Murray's here. What's up, sir? From Scotland. And that's a terrible accent, so I apologize. David Roeder's here. What's up, sir? And Benny jumped on. We got people jumping on from all over the place. How are things over there, by the way? Haven't talked to you in a while. Just catching up. Let's what? Skip Christmas? No, we're gonna go ahead and do it.
No, I'm gonna keep it.
How praise releases energy. All through the ages, many people have believed that praise has some sort of miracle working power. And the reality is it does. You know, praising people for what they do well, being able to point it out, actually is the miracle worker. Here's the problem. To be able to point out what other people are doing well, you have to be okay with who you are. What I mean okay with who you are is you have to be okay with yourself. It's a self-esteem thing. You'll typically find that people who are not okay with themselves have no ability, almost, to be able to praise other people. So, how to apply this to human relations? At this point, you may very well say, well, it's certainly interesting about how praise releases energy and helps people and, you know, lifts people up, but what does that have to do with, you know, what does this have to do with getting along with people? And the answer is everything. Remember the motto that they have in this book, low self-esteem means friction and trouble. So praise is a way of helping increase people's self-esteem, fix people's woe about themselves. It's a way to basically build upon, it's like building blocks. You have to build their self-esteem back up. And everybody's heard, well, you need to build your self-esteem. Well, how the heck do you build your self-esteem? You know, is it a construction kit? Do you have to order it on Amazon? Where do you get it? It actually comes from praise, small wins. So the one thing that most people want, remember, there's another enemy in this book, find out what people really want and give it to them. So in telling me about the power of praise in business, Charles Nicholas told a nationwide poll of educated National Retail Dry Goods Association, of which he was a former president. He says thousands of workers and bosses were asked to list in order of importance the factors they felt were the most important to workers. Credit for work was the item workers themselves overwhelmingly cared the most about. Credit for work. So basically, they want recognized and they want what? Appreciation for what they're doing. And it's funny because I just had this conversation with a friend of mine who drives a truck. Did drive a truck. He drove a truck for years. And he had to switch jobs. Now, interestingly enough, he switched jobs for less money, but better hours. So he's making less money. He has better hours. He has more freedom. And he's like, I was like, how do you like doing that? You know, how do you like teaching? He goes, I'll tell you, I really do like it. He goes, he's had several of his students come back and say, thank you. You are the reason I was able to pass. You know, I wasn't getting this. I wasn't understanding it. And they're driving semis, by the way, so it's a different kind of driving altogether. They were like, we didn't get this. We didn't understand this. And it was because of you that I was able to pass this test and now have a job in the field. So I said, you know, you never got that at your last work. He's like, 13 years, never heard anybody say, hey, thanks for doing what you, he's like, never. So it's funny that it's the simple appreciation, you know, that people are looking for. How to perform a small miracle every day. It says life itself is a real miracle. And every time you can give another person more life or put more life into them, as a common saying goes, you are performing small miracles daily. So the small miracle is being able to connect with somebody, being able to praise them, you know, appreciation, approval. You know, we learned that the other day. Appreciation, approval, and acceptance are the three A's that really in human relations that, you know, will change everything in your business, but also in your life. You know, I mean, you don't just use this stuff when you go to contact people. This is stuff you can use everywhere, teach it to everyone. And it's funny, this is the stuff that, like, when you start talking and you're able to teach this kind of stuff, this is when you connect at a completely different level with people. You're like, you helped me with everything I do. And that's kind of why I always, you know, there were other businesses that I could get into. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, why don't you go do something easier? You know, why don't you go do something more profitable? And I was asking like this to myself, and I was like, well, I really like doing it because, and then I had to have my answer. You know, why am I in an MLM? Why am I building a network marketing company? Why do I like helping? You know, because it is difficult, but everything has its difficult. And I said, eventually, if I can teach enough other people to basically grasp the concept and do this, and it's starting to happen, you can basically have some freed up time and the appreciation of being able to help people. So be generous with kind statements. It says, do not wait until someone does something huge to actually praise and appreciate them. I've had the same appreciation in Amazon. Oh, okay. In the industrial. So 6 rules for saying thank you. So thank you is one of the things, because that's appreciation. Hey, thank you for what you're doing. But there's 6 rules. Number 1, thanks should be sincere. I've heard this a long time ago. They said, nothing's better than a sincere compliment, but nothing's worse than like BS flattery. If you're just doing it so other people will see you as a, you know, the good person, like that's not the reason to do it. Do it because you're really thanking them for what they do. 2, say it, don't mumble it. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I mean, people just like, oh, thank you. You know, it's almost like their lips don't move. They don't look at the person. It's great to take somebody aside and say, hey, I'm going to tell you something. Okay. If you really want to get their attention, say, hey, look, we need to talk. This is important. Then they're really paying attention. They're like, look, I just want to tell you thank you, you know, for what you've done. And they're like, most people freeze. They don't even know how to take it. Like, I still, because of just how I grew up and the people that I was around, like, it still is weird for people to do this or say thank you or, like, we appreciate it. Like, it's still weird. Like, I don't know how to take it. 3, thank people by name. That's one of the key factors inside of Dale Carnegie's course, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Number 1, look at them. Number 2, smile. Number 3, use their name. Those simple 3 things, eye contact, smiling, and being able to, you know, pay attention to them, huge. 4, look at the person you're thanking. Well, we just said that. 5, work at thanking people. You know, you have to kind of come up with, who should I thank? I mean, one of the things is, you know, any mentor in the business, if you sent them a thank you today, right? Anybody who's taught you anything about the business, you know, I mean, hey, thanks for, you know, pointing me in the right direction to where the restroom was at the restaurant. I mean, that's kind of cool, but, you know, we're talking about in business, you know, who taught you how to contact, who taught you how to follow up, who taught, I mean, these things, who taught you how to set goals, or, you know, who taught you how to dream bigger, you know, who took you somewhere, who are you thanking? 6, thank people when they least expect it. So a simple formula to boost your own happiness. If you still have any lingering doubts about praise and gratitude, have something akin to miraculous power in them. Let me ask you this. If I told you about some man who possessed certain goods and explained that he had more giving away than he had left over, would you agree it's kind of a miracle? So if somebody went to give everything away and then they still had stuff left over even after they said, hey, I'm going to be out, yeah, that's the way it is. So what's funny about giving and thanking people and appreciation is you never run out. What's interesting is the more you do this, the more you want to do it, because you see the reaction of people. Carnegie paid Charles Schwab $1 million a year. Andrew Carnegie paid Charles Schwab $1 million a year. Why? Because of his human relations skill. Now, he was being paid $1 million like, you know, we're talking about $1 million is a lot of money now. He was paid $1 million like in the early, late 1800s, early 1900s, long before anybody really ever made that kind of money. But it was all because of his human relations. 2 rules in administering praise. Number 1, it must be sincere. Again, we talked about that. Nothing's better than a sincere compliment or praise. Nothing's worse than BS flattery. 2, the praise, the act or attitude rather than the person itself. So what you're praising is what they did good. What you're praising is the attitude that they have. Not necessarily the person itself. Not, hey, you're just such a great person. You're not trying to ego it. You're trying to be specific, because if you want to develop for instance, if you want to develop a certain characteristic inside of a culture that you have, you praise whatever that characteristic is in the people that have that characteristic. You're like, look, these guys outperform everybody. And because of their performance, because of their activity, I wanted to point some people out, and you point those people out. Everybody else in the room is like, well, I want that too. Now I should go do that, and they will point me out. So, most people feel at ease with this. Praising the act creates an incentive for the person being praised to do more of the same thing. So think about that. If you want to increase activity, praise activity. If you want to increase production, praise production. If you want to increase people's dream, praise the people who are the dreamers. You want to praise the activity, not the person itself. So chapters 12 summed up is sincere praise miraculously releases energy in the other person, basically perks them up physically, as well as gives them, the spirit to live and the spirit to life. It really, it's like an injection of adrenaline. 2, the person who is discouraged, doing bad work, or just basically hard to get along with, probably is suffering from low self-esteem. Praise can act as a wonder drug to basically give this person a little bit of self-esteem, and a healthy shot in the arm changes their behavior for the better. So even when a kid's acting out, you can kind of use this to your advantage. 3, give credit to others for what they do. Show your appreciation of their work by saying, thank you. 4, be generous with kindness. Gratitude is not a common thing. By being generous with gratitude, you make yourself stand out from the crowd. This is true. It increases your own happiness and peace of mind basically paying 3 sincere compliments a day. So that's kind of the goal. Who can you thank today? That's an easiest way to start. Who can you thank today? Who are a couple people? If you can just send them a quick note, that will actually make the world a better place. It'll help you because it'll be how you start, and then every day, I mean, that's like your thought of gratitude. Every day I got to find 3 people to thank. Hey, thank you for this. Thank you for, what you've done. Thank you for a call that you made. Thank you for a book that you recommend. I mean, whatever it is. So with that, that is a wrap. Brandy, anything else?
No, that basically wraps it up. Giving compliments, making sure that your compliments are genuine, because people can tell if it's not. And just giving people compliments in front of other people too really makes a difference. It's one thing to say it when it's just the two of you, but giving a compliment in front of other people really puts that other person in a different light, and it's complimenting them and making them look like an even better person in front of other people. So with that is basically it for today. It is Friday, so we will see you guys on Monday with the last chapter, and then we're on to the next book. So with that, we will catch you guys later, and have a good weekend.